G'day legends, welcome back to another episode. Now in this episode we've come out to Black Duck Valley to find out, is the Ranger or the Superduty the ultimate off-road beast? So we're going to put them to the test here today and find out actually which one of these is the king. But right now, as you can see, Superduty is flexing way harder. Superduty is on factory suspension. Ranger has got a 3-inch lift, so very, very disappointing. But anyways, we're going to get into it and see which one of these is actually the ultimate. And I'm going to do what I do best and try not to wreck that car because it is not mine. But they're the ones who told me to bring it out, so it's on them. It's on them. Up to them. Righto, we're here at the flex ramp now. So what we're going to do to kick this thing off is we're going to jump onto these cars. We're going to tell you a little bit of info about them and just let you know what these cars have from factory and what they have now and how they're set up. So we'll start with the Superduty. Superduty's got 35-inch tyres on it, so which I believe is a 2-inch lift. It's got the canopy on the back, a whole bunch of gear, so it weighs a little bit. It's got a heap of power gear, which is cool. But then we come over to this one, and we have the Ranger. So this at its bare bones is a Ranger Sport. It's got 33-inch tyres, it's got a 3-inch pro fender lift. Yeah, it's a pretty easy way to explain it. That one's single locked, this one's twin locked, which won't really matter on the flex ramp, mate. Locker always helps, but not really gonna matter on the flex ramp. What's gonna matter is suspension travel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna test both up front, both up rear, and see who gets what and what sort of travel they have. And that'll be our predetermining on, I guess, the start of how this is gonna go. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not actually sure how it's gonna go. Quietly, I'm confident the old Ranger might do better because driving the Super Duty out here, the Super Duty is actually relatively detuned compared to this one. So this one you can stand on it. Feels like it's gonna lift the wheel. That one there, it's like driving grandma's car. So anyways, we'll see how it goes. But I'm quietly confident the old Ranger Sport's gonna kill it. Let's go. We're up the front here. We've got an unimpressive 19 up here, which I'm pretty disappointed about. I've never actually run my car up this one. It's always been jelly roll. But come to the rear, and we've got quite a bit of travel here. I actually didn't bring a tape measure like a rookie, but we've got a bit of travel here. But I'm actually keen to see how it goes up the ramp backwards, and I'm keen to see how this thing goes. I don't think this has got anything on this. Let's go have a look. Righto, so I stand corrected. Before I was like, oh yeah, we've done 19. In my defense, it's got a little stripe there, but that's actually the marker indicator. So we actually only done 9. 9 is all we've done. But this time, we've made it to a nice 9.5 on the rear. But what you can notice here is a little bit of room there still, so we're not actually tucking right up. It's on bumps. I reckon it's just a brick. But we'll see. I still have high hopes it's going to beat Super Duty. So let's go bang the Super Duty on. Wow, just wow. That's all I gotta say. Look at it, 13. We've got 13, 4-rung tire. Look at the travel in the rear. Like, this thing is 35-inch tire on factory suspension. Let's make sure they're 35s, yes they are. 35-inch tire on factory suspension. Look at here, FOMO co on the suspension, so that is stock factory suspension. And then come around this side, it's even more impressive. Look at this thing. Look at the tuck in there. That's up hard. That is like, yeah, wow. For a factory car, that is impressive. However, we're still gonna go up in reverse yet, so let's have a look. And I think we're gonna have some issues with this rear setup though. I think this is gonna be the problem with this car. It's just gonna, which aftermarket parts can fix that. But for now, we're gonna go find out. Let's go. This thing sucks. I rest my case. It is now the most useless four-wheel drive on the market because of that. Oh. The good news though, the good news, if you're only going forward, you're probably gonna be okay as once you way through, but you're not gonna be going backwards, you'll be like a bulldozer. Oh, far out. So at the end of this track, there is also this little section that's all washed out from the rain that I just got a massive wheel lift on the Green Ranger on the BREDROL, which we're probably going to have to reenact, but we're going to try it on this one and see how it goes. I don't think this one will even lift a wheel, but we'll go and give it a crack. Get through this next bit. Rightio, so we've decided that going to come to my favourite track for Jelly Roll. We're here for Winetine, so we're on track 12, Winetine. Very hard track. I don't know if the BREDROL is actually going to make it up, to be honest. It's going to have its work cut out. Superduty will definitely have a good time. Jelly Roll loves this track, but yeah, it's going to be fun to try and get both these up there. Arguably, this will be in the top 10, I guess, hardest tracks here. So it should be quite good. Lots of off-camber stuff. Big hill climbs, rocks, everything to get through. So yeah, let's go give it a go. Now we're talking, baby, now we're talking. I can't believe that actually got through there then. But I should probably have my tyres down because I've not done that today. Half the battle. So I'm going to air down quickly. Well, I decided to go up Winetine, but one thing I didn't do today because I was too excited to go wheeling was air my tyres down. I've got to here and realise if I air them down, I'm going to have much better chance of success of making it up that a big ass hill. So anyway, since I forgot to air down, it was very easy for us because we got the sealed jaw unit here that we obviously make. We've just opened this up, middle of the track, got more float out, hooked it up to the tyres and away we go. Air them down. So for those of you that are wondering, what do I air my tyres down to? So it always depends on what you're doing, but for this kind of rocky terrain, I'm currently at 40. I'm gonna go down to about 20, see what 20 looks like. 20's normally right, I don't have bead locks, so you gotta be careful. If you go down too far, you can do a bead, but I think 20 be okay if I need to later on. I can go down to 15 to get a little bit more wrap around the rocks, but there's really like shaly, loose rock here and some hard sort of fixed in rocks, so it'd be pretty good around 20, I think. So we'll go and air that down to there, and at least we got room to go down again later on without doing a bead. Hopefully, anyway. Now that is a bloody good track. If you've been out to Black Duck, you'll know Winetine. If you haven't, make sure you come out. If you can pick lines and you're a capable wheeler, you'll be able to get up that. In most cars, this is why I think front lockers are also important and suspension travel, because that thing struggled the whole way. But quietly, I actually think the Superduty is going to walk up this pretty easily, eh? So, and if I get this thing up there, I'm getting the Superduty up there. Apologies in advance to Tus Offroad and Dexon. Very, very sorry in advance. I haven't yet destroyed the car, but it's probably going to happen. I'm very sorry in advance. And it gets picked up on Tuesday, so you'll find out when it comes back to your warehouse. Righto, let's go get it up here. How's the views, but good views. Righto, so that was BREDROL done and dusted. Now we're going to jump in the old Superduty and see if the Superduty can outperform the BREDROL. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, God, is he actually going to drive it hard? Yes, I am. Even though it's not my car, I cannot do a video and be like, not drive it hard and be like, BREDROL's the winner. We already see this thing outperform it. So, sorry Tus Offroad, but it's got to be done. Let's go. I don't know what to say. I'm going to sell my Ranger. As much as there's one thing that I really hate about this, but you know, the tune shops like TuneWorks and that will be HP Automotive, those guys will be able to actually fix this, but is the engine. For some reason it's sluggish. But other than that, this thing is an absolute beast. You see how easy that thing went up there? So like, this is the difference between good suspension travel, twin locked, the thing just walked up everything. The other car, doing these ones everywhere, doing all that. This thing just walked. This is, now, you're probably thinking, dude, obviously, but why I'm so excited is this is factory. All you're gonna do with one of these, with the new one coming out the tub, is bang a set of wheel and tires on it and you're done. You can go wheeling in it. Like this one is just wheels and tires. Suspension, lockers, everything is standard. Unreal. Good bang for buck, I reckon. I'm keen. Righto, let's go back and do a wrap up. Well, sum this review up of which one's better. We've got some pros, we've got some cons. So we're gonna go over to this car and we're gonna talk about the pros. Pros on this one, engine, more power. Pros on this one, ×2. Suspension, unreal. You don't have to spend any money on suspension. It's got twin locks, you don't need to spend any money on lockers. You can fit 35s from factory on it. And it just does what it's told. Cons on this one. Gearbox is a piece of shit. For whatever reason, my other one did it as well. Certain angles, certain things, the throttle just doesn't want to give you anything. So no idea what goes on there, but it does, it gets you in sticky situations. Suspension travel is nothing from factory. The 3-inch lift that's in it still isn't enough travel for it. It only has a rear locker. It only has 33s on it. And it just all round sucks in comparison. This one, cons. The engine is shit. I don't know what Ford's done, but they've decided it's a great idea to, I don't know if they've pulled the throttle response out or they've just detuned it, claiming the same figures as this one. But you can jump in this one and you can jump in that one and vice versa. You'll feel very quickly the difference between the power in the two of them and the throttle response and everything. That one far outweighs it. However, this one, no throttle issues when you go up the hills, just walked and wheeled absolutely everywhere. So if I'm taking a pick out of one of these, I'm going Superduty. I'm super excited. So I've got the XLT on order, should be here next month. And it's gonna have all the same features that this one has, but it's gonna have a tub on the rear. So I'm so damn excited that I'm probably gonna offload that one. And this isn't a marketing thing, we're not getting paid for it. This is my honest opinion. And if you watch the video now, you're gonna be able to see the difference between that and that. I was talking about the same tracks, same places. There is one more con that I forgot about actually. On the rear, the tow bar section, I think that needs to come up a little bit. It's a little bit low, but I had to pull the tow ball out at one point, obviously. But all in all, I think the Superduty does tick the boxes. So, yeah. But if you're looking to buy one for towing and things like that, I'd probably go and do some more reviews somewhere else, because this was just a wheeling review, and I tell you what, I love that thing. Anyways, that's a wrap on this episode, legends. So, if you guys like this content, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and punch that notification bell at the top. Hope you guys had a really good time in this episode. We enjoyed being back. First one back in a year, like we're back, we're doing them. We're gonna start trying to drop them every fortnight. And if you like this content, you might like this one here, you might like that one there. Right, ladies, sexual spots, see you next time.